Virgo, the moment you stopped talking, the moment you pulled your energy back and chose silence over explanation, something shifted in the entire energetic dynamic between you and this person, and they felt it immediately. This reading is going to reveal exactly what happened in the spiritual realm the second you decided to stop chasing, stop explaining, stop trying to make them understand. Because, Virgo, your silence, your absence, your refusal to engage anymore, it did something to them that words never could. And right now, in this very moment, they are unraveling. They are obsessing. They are realizing what they lost. And Spirit wants you to know you did the most powerful thing you could have ever done. Let me pull the first card. And I'm seeing the Two of Swords here. And Virgo, look at this imagery. There's a figure sitting with their back to the water, arms crossed over their chest, holding two swords in a defensive, protective stance, eyes blindfolded, unable or unwilling to see the truth. And the entire energy of this card is stagnation, avoidance, refusing to make a decision. And this is exactly where this person was. This is the energy they were holding when they were in your life. They were sitting in complete denial, not wanting to face their real feelings, not wanting to acknowledge the depth of what you meant to them. They kept themselves blindfolded, Virgo. They kept themselves in this place of confusion and indecision, because facing the truth, facing how much they actually care about you, how much they need you, and it terrified them. And so they stayed silent. They stayed distant. They played small. They acted like they didn't care. But Spirit is showing me that this was all a defense mechanism. This was all fear. And the moment you stopped trying to reach them, the moment you stopped offering your energy, your words, your presence, that blindfold started to slip. Because Virgo, your silence removed the very thing they were using to stay comfortable in their avoidance. They were using your availability, your communication, your willingness to engage as a way to keep themselves in that Two of Swords energy. They thought they could keep you there, waiting, wondering, while they figured out their feelings, while they worked through their fear. But you removed yourself from that equation. And now they're forced to sit with the reality of your absence. And it's driving them absolutely insane. I'm pulling another card. And this is so telling, Virgo. I have the Five of Cups here. And look at this card. There's a figure standing in a dark cloak, head down, staring at 3 spilled cups on the ground, completely focused on what was lost, what was wasted, what they let slip away. And behind them, there are 2 cups still standing, still full, still available, but they can't see them. They can't focus on anything except the regret, the grief, the realization of what they threw away. And Virgo, this is their energy right now. This is what they are experiencing in their private moments, when they're alone with their thoughts, when they're scrolling through old messages, when they're remembering the way you used to show up for them, the way you used to care, the way you used to try. They are drowning in regret. And Spirit is showing me that this person, they took you for granted. They really did. They thought you would always be there. They thought your energy was unlimited. They thought they could keep you at arm's length, keep you confused, keep you in this cycle of hot and cold, and you would just accept it. But you didn't, Virgo. You chose yourself. You chose your peace. You chose silence over suffering. And now they're looking at those spilled cups, those missed opportunities, those moments where they could have been honest, where they could have been vulnerable, where they could have chosen you. And they're realizing they fumbled something irreplaceable. I'm hearing from Spirit that this person is replaying conversations in their mind. They're going back to moments where you expressed yourself, where you asked for clarity, where you showed them your heart. And they're seeing now how they responded with distance, with coldness, with avoidance. And it's eating them alive, Virgo, because they're starting to understand that you weren't asking for too much. You weren't being needy. You weren't being dramatic. You were simply asking to be met with the same energy you were giving, and they couldn't do it. They were too afraid, too prideful, too stuck in their own walls. And now those walls are a prison, and you're not there anymore. Let me pull the next card. And I'm getting the 8 of Swords. And Virgo, this is so significant to look at this imagery. A figure bound and blindfolded, surrounded by 8 swords, stuck in the ground, trapped, restricted, unable to move. But here's the thing about this card. The bindings are loose. The swords aren't actually blocking the way. This person could free themselves if they chose to, but they're so trapped in their own mind, their own fear, their own limiting beliefs that they can't see the way out. And this is exactly what's happening to them right now. Your silence, your absence, it's forcing them to confront the mental prison they built for themselves. They told themselves stories, Virgo. They told themselves you didn't really care that much. They told themselves they could walk away anytime and be fine. They told themselves they were protecting themselves by staying emotionally unavailable. They convinced themselves that keeping their distance was strength, that not showing their feelings was power. But now that you're actually gone, now that you're actually silent, all of those stories are crumbling, and they're realizing they weren't protecting themselves. They were sabotaging themselves. They were pushing away the one person who actually saw them, who actually cared, who actually stayed longer than they deserved. And Spirit is showing me that this person is in a mental spiral right now. They're overthinking everything. They're analyzing every interaction you had, every word you said, every moment of silence. They're wondering if you've moved on, if you're thinking about them, if you hate them, if you're talking to someone new. And Virgo, this is torture for them because they're used to knowing. They're used to having access to you. They're used to being able to check in, to breadcrumb, to keep you on the line. But you cut that line. And now they're in complete darkness about where you are, what you're feeling, what you're doing. And that uncertainty is destroying their peace. I'm pulling another card, and I have the Queen of Cups here, and Virgo. This is you. This is your energy. Look at this card. A queen sitting on a throne at the edge of the water, holding a beautiful ornate cup, calm, serene, emotionally mature, connected to her intuition, and the water around her is still peaceful. She's not drowning in emotion. She's not reactive. She's not chaotic. She's in complete control of her emotional world. And this is what you became when you chose silence. You stepped into your queen energy. You stopped allowing their confusion to disturb your inner peace. You stopped trying to force something that wasn't flowing. You stopped pouring from your cup into someone who kept spilling it. And Spirit wants you to know, Virgo, this is why your silence is so powerful, because it's not coming from a place of anger. It's not coming from a place of revenge. It's not even coming from a place of hurt anymore. It's coming from a place of deep emotional maturity and self-respect. You simply decided that your energy is sacred, that your peace is non-negotiable, that you will no longer participate in dynamics that drain you. And this person can feel that. They can feel that you're not sitting around waiting for them. You're not crying over them every night. You're not obsessing. You moved into a higher frequency, and that shift in your energy is what's shaking their entire world. Because Virgo, when someone is used to you being emotionally available, when they're used to you caring, when they're used to you trying, and suddenly that energy is completely withdrawn, not because you're playing games, but because you genuinely chose yourself, it creates a void in their reality that nothing else can fill. They can't manipulate silence. They can't gaslight absence. They can't control someone who is no longer engaging. And that loss of control is making them realize how much power you actually held in the connection and how much power they just lost. Let me pull what they're feeling right now. And I'm getting the Knight of Cups. And this is interesting, Virgo, because the Knight of Cups is romantic, emotional, offering love, offering feelings, coming forward with vulnerability. And I'm seeing that this is what's stirring inside of them. They're starting to feel this pull to reach out to you, to express themselves, to finally be honest about what they feel. The Knight of Cups is someone who leads with their heart, who isn't afraid to be emotional, who makes grand gestures. And Spirit is showing me that your silence is bringing this energy to the surface in them, because they're realizing that if they don't act, if they don't speak, if they don't do something, they might lose you forever. And Virgo, I'm hearing that this person is battling with themselves. Part of them wants to run to you right now, wants to pour their heart out, wants to tell you everything they've been holding back. But there's still fear there. There's still pride. There's still that voice in their head telling them to protect themselves, to not be too vulnerable, to not look weak. But that voice is getting quieter, because the pain of losing you is becoming louder than the fear of being open. And I'm seeing that they're getting closer and closer to a breaking point where they can't hold it in anymore. I'm pulling another card for what they're thinking. And I have the Nine of Swords here. And Virgo, this is the anxiety card. This is the sleepless nights card. Look at this imagery. Someone sitting up in bed, head in their hands, surrounded by 9 swords hanging on the wall. Consumed by worry, by regret, by mental anguish. And this is their internal state right now. They can't sleep peacefully. They can't stop their mind from racing. Every time they close their eyes, they see you. They see what they lost. They see their own mistakes playing on repeat, and it's torment. Spirit is showing me that this person is asking themselves over and over, why did I push them away? Why didn't I just tell them the truth? Why was I so afraid? Why did I take them for granted? And these questions haunt them, Virgo, because they don't have good answers. They don't have justifications that make sense anymore. All they have is the empty space where you used to be. And that space is screaming at them, reminding them of their own self-sabotage, their own emotional cowardice, their own inability to show up when it mattered. And I'm hearing from Spirit that this person thought they were so strong by keeping their walls up. They thought they were winning by not catching feelings, by staying detached, by keeping you at a distance. But now they're realizing that all they did was lose. They lost time, they lost intimacy, they lost trust, they lost you. And there's no victory in that. There's only regret, only grief, only the painful realization that they were their own worst enemy in this connection. Let me see what they want from you. And I'm pulling the Ace of Cups and Virgo. This is a new beginning in emotional connection. This is the offer of love, of genuine feeling, of a fresh start. The Ace of Cups is pure emotional potential. It's the universe offering a cup overflowing with love, with vulnerability, with truth. And Spirit is showing me that this is what they want to offer you now. They want a chance to start over, to do it right this time, to show up emotionally in the way they couldn't before. They want you to open your heart to them again, to give them access to your energy, to your presence, to your love. But Virgo Spirit is also showing me that they're terrified you won't. They're terrified that your silence means it's too late, that you've moved on, that you've closed the door permanently. And that fear is actually what's pushing them closer to finally being honest, because they're realizing that playing it safe, staying guarded, waiting for the perfect moment, it costs them everything. And if they don't take the risk now, if they don't humble themselves, if they don't lay their cards on the table, they might never get another chance. I'm seeing that this person is also dealing with guilt, deep guilt, because they know they hurt you, Virgo. They know they confused you. They know they left you wondering, questioning yourself, doubting the connection, and they're carrying that. They're sitting with the weight of how they made you feel. And it's heavy. It's uncomfortable. It's forcing them to look at parts of themselves they've been avoiding, the parts that run, the parts that hide, the parts that hurt people because they're too afraid to be hurt first. Let me pull what they're not saying, what's beneath the surface. And I have the Devil card here and Virgo. This is about their attachments, their obsessions, their inability to let go. The Devil card shows two figures chained to a pedestal, to a dark force. But look closely. The chains are loose. They could leave if they wanted to, but they're choosing to stay bound. And this is what's happening energetically with this person. They are obsessed with you. They are attached to you. They think about you constantly. You're in their mind all day and all night, but they're chained to their fear, to their patterns, to their need for control, and they don't know how to break free. Spirit is showing me that this person is addicted to the version of the connection where they had all the power, where they could come and go, where they could be hot and cold, where they didn't have to fully commit or fully walk away. They were addicted to that control, to that safety, but you took that away when you went silent. You broke the pattern. You removed yourself from the cycle. And now they're experiencing withdrawal. They're experiencing what it feels like to not have access to you. And it's unbearable. And Virgo. I'm hearing that this person is also chained to their pride. They want to reach out. They want to apologize. They want to tell you how much you mean to them. But their ego keeps whispering, don't look desperate. Don't give them the satisfaction. Make them come back first. And so they stay stuck. They stay bound to this self-imposed prison, suffering in silence, hoping you'll break first, hoping you'll reach out. But you're not going to, because you've already made your choice. You've already chosen peace. I'm pulling another card, and I have the Star here and Virgo. This is so beautiful. The Star is hope, healing, renewal, divine timing. Look at this card. A figure kneeling by the water, pouring one cup into the water and one onto the land. Stars shining brightly above. Everything is calm, serene, full of faith. And this is your energy moving forward. This is what Spirit wants you to know. While this person is spiraling, while they're obsessing, while they're drowning in regret, you are healing. You are renewing yourself. You are reconnecting with your higher self, with your intuition, with your faith that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. And Spirit is saying, Virgo, your silence wasn't just powerful because of what it did to them. It was powerful because of what it did for you. It gave you space to breathe, to reflect, to remember who you are outside of this connection. It allowed you to stop people pleasing, stop over explaining, stop trying to convince someone to choose you. And in that space, you found yourself again. You found your clarity. You found your strength. And that is priceless. I'm seeing that the Star is also about hope for the future, and Spirit wants you to know that whether this person gets their act together or not, whether they finally break and reach out or not, you are going to be okay. You are going to thrive. You are being guided towards something better, something healthier, something that doesn't require you to shrink, to silence yourself, to walk on eggshells. The universe is healing you, preparing you, aligning you with a love that matches your energy. And this chapter, this person, this lesson, it's all part of your journey toward that. Let me pull one more card for what may happen next. And I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune and Virgo. This is divine timing. This is fate. This is the universe saying that things are about to shift. The Wheel of Fortune means that nothing stays the same forever. What goes up must come down. What was lost can be found. What was broken can be healed. But it all happens in divine timing. Not your timing, not their timing, the universe's timing. And right now, the wheel is turning. And I'm seeing that this situation is building toward a climax, toward a moment of truth, toward a breakthrough. Spirit is showing me that this person's breaking point is coming. Their ability to stay silent, to stay away, to stay in denial, it's running out. The pressure is building. The regret is intensifying. The obsession is consuming them. And something is going to give. I'm seeing a message coming through. I'm seeing them reaching out. I'm seeing them finally cracking under the weight of your absence. But Virgo, Spirit wants you to stay strong. Stay in your Queen of Cups energy. Don't go back to old patterns just because they finally give you the attention you were asking for months ago. Because here's the thing, Virgo. You've grown. You've evolved. You've stepped into a new version of yourself. And if this person comes back, if they reach out, if they confess everything, they need to meet you where you are now, not where you were. They need to come correct with honesty, with accountability, with real change, not just words, not just promises, not just temporary emotion, but genuine transformation. And if they can't offer